Everyone talked about Jake Hudson's win, but 3 days later, people were talking about something else. The winner of the biggest lottery jackpot in the state had simply vanished. No goodbye. No trace. And the strangest part was that just hours before disappearing, he sent his sister one short message. "If anything happens to me, don't trust anyone." I read those words over and over again. Jake had never been the kind of person who chased excitement. He worked as a mechanic in a small Iowa town, loved old pickup trucks, enjoyed weekend barbecues, and always said an ordinary life was enough for him. When his ticket turned out to be the winning one, reporters surrounded him overnight. Cameras. Interviews. Congratulations. It finally seemed as though luck had found someone who truly deserved it. On the first day he couldn't stop smiling. By the second day he looked exhausted. On the third day he seemed like a completely different person. He stopped answering his phone, canceled a meeting with his attorney, and unexpectedly sold his old truck, even though he had always said he would never part with it. That evening I drove to his house. The front door was locked, but the lights were on inside. A half-finished cup of coffee sat on the kitchen table, and the television was still quietly playing. It looked as if he had stepped outside for just a minute, but Jake never came back. The police launched a search almost immediately. There were countless theories. Some believed he had disappeared to escape the attention. Others thought the sudden fortune had become too much to handle. None of those explanations made sense of the message he had sent me. A week later, I received a phone call from a man I had never met. He introduced himself as a financial advisor and said something I never expected to hear. "Your brother tried to refuse the prize." At first, I thought I had misunderstood him. The day before he vanished, Jake had gone to the lottery office and asked if he could cancel the payout. They explained that once the claim process had begun, there was no way to reverse it. No one knew why he had changed his mind. Nearly a month passed. I had almost given up hoping for answers when I found an ordinary envelope in my mailbox with no return address. Inside was a single photograph. Jake was sitting on a wooden bench beside a quiet lake. He looked peaceful, happy even. On the back of the photo, he had written only one sentence: "I can finally live my own life." Experts quickly confirmed that the photograph was authentic, but no one could identify where it had been taken. Eventually, the investigation reached a dead end. Over the years, the story became something of a local legend. Some claimed they had seen Jake in Montana. Others insisted they had met him somewhere along the Oregon coast under a different name. Every lead was investigated. None of them could be confirmed. Sometimes I still think about that final message. "If anything happens to me, don't trust anyone." For a long time, I believed my brother had been afraid of someone. Now I find myself wondering if he meant something entirely different. The moment he won the lottery, everyone started telling him how he should live. Strangers made plans for his future. Companies offered him services. People he hadn't heard from in years suddenly remembered they were old friends. Maybe Jake realized something that most people never do. Sometimes the greatest prize isn't money at all. Sometimes real luck is disappearing before someone else's expectations turn your life into someone else's story.